Morning, everybody. Take a look at that sucker. And that's a 3/4 cow. She's only got 3 good quarters. The 1 quarter is hooched. That's how it was when we bought her. But boy, did she raise a calf. What's with you, 457, huh? This 101, she's got a big ass bastard on her too. Miss 8. Hey? Where's your baby? Huh? Where is he? I don't know where her baby is, 117. Oh, he's right fucking here. That's him right there. So if you guys go back in our videos over the winter, this girl here, when she calved as a heifer, because this is her first calf. That's her first calf. As a heifer, as she was calving, there was another cow that had calved in the morning, and she was licking that calf and then rejected her own. And it took a bit to get her to accept her calf, but she eventually did. And 467 has a little bit of a snotty nose, but yes, as you can see, the ground is white. It snowed, not a lot, but enough to make the ground white. But you know what? By the end of today, or tomorrow, it'll be gone. Because we're supposed to get like up to +7, I think, tomorrow on Thursday. Like even the cows got a little bit of a snotty nose. (4-6) is a nice big heifer. Anywho, just checking them over for sicknesses. I treated another one yesterday and she's in the barn. She's looking better today than she was yesterday. It's like a dry pneumonia that is getting us. They don't have no, sometimes with what they call a wet pneumonia, they'll have a runny nose, maybe a little bit of drooling mouth, so on and so forth. Heavy breathing. And in this case, you don't get a lot of those symptoms. Like you definitely won't have you'll have the droopy ear. Excuse me. But my experience with this dry pneumonia is you end up with, outside of the droopy ear, my first indication is a labored calf. He's weak. All he wants to do is lay down. Doesn't want to eat. Might be breathing heavy, and you might notice it. But yeah, that's the first. Outside of being weak and heavy breathing, those are your indicators. Like this one yesterday, her ears were perked right up, like a deer in the headlight look, but she wouldn't get up. She didn't want to stand. She didn't want to come to feed. If the cows went to where she was laying down, then she would get up and she would go to a different corner. She wanted to be away from the herd. And when I watch her, when she walked really slowly. Just weak and laboring. So got her in the barn, treated her. Like I said, she's still with us, so that's a plus. It's a heifer. So we'll treated her with Nuflor, and I got to give her a second shot in tomorrow afternoon. It's 48 hours. You give them a second shot, and if they don't snap out of their problem in 48 hours, then you switch it up and give them a different drug. Anywho, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll bring you back a little later. Alrighty guys, so what do we got going on here? Well, the old bale processor. This is a Jiffy 900. She's old. She's an oldie, but she's a trusty. Believe this sucker is an 82 model. 87 or 82. It's one or the other. It's from the 80s anyway. So all Jiffies, even the ones they build today, now they're called Westward. Jiffy was bought out by Westward, but now it's Westward Jiffy. The inside cradle, the bale carrier on the inside, it rocks. For all of you new guys that are new to the channel and haven't seen me use this thing, it rocks from side to side, and that's how it feeds the bale down. It'll feed one side and you just rotate it back and forth. And sometimes the bales get hung up in it and you gotta friggin' jerk your tractor this way or that way, whatever. But for the most part, it's no different than any other bale processor or bale shredder. It's got flails in it. There's a little bit of, I think there's about 8 bales of twine in there from last spring. But anyway, we put all new flails in it last winter. But I just hooked up to her because it's getting to be that time of the year where we're going to have to start using it again. So I'm going to grease her all up, service it up, and we're going to go process a bale with this sucker today. So let's get after it. Alrighty guys. So anybody that's thinking about getting one of these machines, just make sure those bearings in there, that thing, it does turn with the weight of bale in there, but make sure that those get greased well. They always get missed on these machines. Those ones. The main drum, and I still have to do the back end of this one. So that one there, and there's one in the very front. That's the main rotor. Everybody greases those really well. Another thing to grease, and this one was neglected, but these wheels right here, you want to grease those up also. This one, like I said, it was neglected, and I've got flat spots on those wheels, but I'm not going to worry too much about replacing them. It works fine. So yeah, another thing a guy can do, being that I probably will at some point this winter, I could drop this end of the drum. If I undo all these bolts on the outside edge, you'll see it's a slotted hole here that this bolt runs through. And then I can drop this drum on the front and the back. It's the same. I could drop the drum so it's not biting into the bale so hard now that we put new flails on. Just take this bolt, lower it down. That'll bring your drum down, and then it won't bite so hard. Clean this sucker off before I hit it with the grease gun. I got everything else done. I just got to do this one. There we go. Oh. But yeah, same this side. These guys right here and there. And then this big plate. It's the same thing on this end, and PTO goes direct to the drum. So you drop that down, 1/2 inch, make a big difference. Or better yet, it'd be close to an inch probably. Anywho, I'm gonna grease that back one, and then we'll go process a bale and see how she's gonna work for us. Bring you guys back later. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is some green out here still. And that they've been munching on it. Especially where the grass is taller. The old dried up grass, there's green underneath. Happy cow. But we're gonna go out here, and that's where we're gonna shred the bales out, or bale. I gotta drop my chute, so I'll have to stop. Tinker's gonna be in the way for getting out the door. But whatever. We'll move her. But they're all following. They want a little bit of this stuff. There's Crooked Face, the red one. Alrighty, I'm gonna drop that chute, and then we'll start shredding, and that's when I'll bring you guys back. That's on. Revved her up to basically 1,000. This, so you guys can see what's going on. There. Here I'm holding the hydraulic lever because I got to set my detents on my hydraulic system, make them a little stronger, not so soft. But it won't take long to shred this bale out. I'll bring you guys back here in a couple minutes. I know in the past when we were shredding green feed with this machine, the bale would always hang up. And the biggest problem for that was the hammers or the flails were wore right out, so it wouldn't pull the bale apart proper. But we got her going here now, so anywho, I'll bring you back later. And put Tinker in the tractor so she doesn't get run over by a cow. Especially with this long green feed. It's nice to process it and kind of break that stem up. It'll even be nicer once we get tub grinder in, but that won't happen for a couple weeks yet. Basically around the 20th, roughly. They look good. Alrighty, let's get on home. Alrighty guys, I just had some lunch with CP. Gonna head out with the bobby cat and do some more brush clearing. Oh, look, look. See that over there? A whole bunch of liberals standing at the fence. You know what that means? It means that they want to be fed. But those aren't mine. Isn't that what a liberal does? Stand there with their hand out because they don't want to work? Congratulations to all my American friends. You guys finally got rid of that goddamn liberal that was in there wrecking your country. And hopefully, Trump and his team can get things straightened out in the next 4 years. And hopefully also, we'll be able to get rid of this fucking twinkle toes that we got over here in Canada in our next election. And we can get our country straightened out. Anyway, I gotta start this thing and give them a few minutes to percolate. So I'll talk to you guys later. It'll probably be once we're out in the bush. See you then. Alrighty guys, well, we're out here. And this is an area where we were trying to clean it up before we got our own machine. So let's spend a little time out here and try and get rid of a bunch of this stuff out here. These trees, these saplings are only going to get bigger as time goes on. So if we don't stay on top of it, we'll lose control of it. Before you know it, they'll be like that guy right there. So we'll talk to you here in a little bit. Alrighty guys, well, if you can make that out, all along the bush over there, we got into the trees a little bit, all down that side. all the way down through there. We were in this area before with that little bobcat brush cutter that we rented, but it wouldn't cut the dogwood or the bigger saplings. We got lots of dogwood through here. I'm gonna whap that off. Farther ahead, it's all saplings from that started growing after we pushed that bush. So I'm just working to the bush back this way. Let's continue on, continue on. Alrighty guys, so from the point of that tree right there, and I did some out by that bush pile way out there before I got here, but anyway, basically from 2:15, it's 5 o'clock now. So from the point of that tree all the way down to the end of there and all the way across to behind me, we got her cleaned up pretty good. So about 3 hours of just going. Clean all this shit off of here. And lots of this, well, the dirt is actually from hitting big ass anthills. So that dirt pile right there, that's an ant pile. It was about 1.5 feet, 16 to 18 inches high. Crazy what those things can do. But the machine is working fucking awesome. Mid-state attachment, guys. If you're looking for a inexpensive, somewhat inexpensive, depends on what you call expensive, right? But if you're looking for a machine to somewhat cut heavy grass, weeds, brush, kind of an all-around machine, I highly recommend them. The other nice part is all the components are US made, so getting parts should be a lot easier in my eyes than if it's Japanese or Chinese made, Korean made, right? CP is out hunting again, as far as I know. Looking for a muley. She's at the neighbor's place. There. Got a little bit of an oil weep here. I think it's just coming off of these hoses, because it's not underneath. It's just on top. Anywho, there. I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll see what happens tomorrow.